Nah. What's up, everybody? This is the next episode of Maverick Talks, episode 9, and we're super excited because we have so much to talk about today. Now, check it out. We're going to be talking about Marvel, all about Marvel. Marvel's been doing a lot.
Have they been?
Right, with Robert Downey Jr., you got Blade coming out in the movies and all that other stuff.
Coming out.
Deadpool was wild, so...
It surpassed $1 billion.
That's good news.
Was it? No. It wasn't the first rated R movie to make $1 billion. What was that, Joker?
It wasn't the first. Joker was. It was... Right now, Deadpool is the highest grossing rated R movie.
Of all time.
Yup. Of all time. And that's amazing.
It beat Passion of the Christ and Joker won.
Right. And I don't think that another movie is going to be able to compete with that for some time, I'll be honest
Unless
with
it's
you.
another Deadpool movie.
Right. So, we're just going to jump into it today. We're going to read a couple articles. Let's do it. Hit us. I'm not feeling hit. Hit us again. Let's move on to the next. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's check out this article. This is going to be...
Rojo Hulk.
I know you have a lot more to say about Blade, but let's read the article first. So, Captain America New World Order is set to reintroduce General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, leading many to predict that the character will finally be shown in his Red Hulk form.
Ooh, so exciting.
Right.
Aren't you guys excited to see a Hulk in a Captain America movie?
Right.
Instead of a Hulk movie?
With Harrison Ford taking over the role for General Ross following William Hurt's death in 2022.
Why didn't they just let
Ross
die? I mean,
Wait! It seems as though Marvel Studios still has major plans for the character in Phase 5, despite the fact that the Red Hulk has never appeared in live action before.
Still in Phase 5? What? I could have saw he was in Phase 7. The amount of cancellations.
They be moving through stuff so fast.
Where are we?
So,
we don't know.
So obviously, the Red Hulk news is surprising for a lot of people, and a lot of people are excited about it, but I'm not. I know you're not. And you're the biggest Hulk fan probably out there. So break down why you have an issue with it.
He's a Hulk villain. Why the hell is a Hulk? Here's my issue. Like, yeah, sure. Thunderbolt Ross is, in the army and it correlates with Captain America. Sure. But he's a Hulk villain. Why the hell is he not in a Hulk movie? I also heard that the leader was going to be in this movie.
Oh, come on.
Which is another Hulk villain. If he's not, okay, I stand corrected. But the Hulk, Red Hulk, why is he in this movie? And then they show dude.
Yeah, that was
He just looks like Hulk but red, and then with Harrison Ford's face, and it's like I haven't seen Red Hulk enough, but I'm pretty sure he's not a. I'm pretty sure he's a laugher. He will laugh at you. He would fight. He's drunk with the power, and his anger is his weakness. He radiates more energy away when he's angry. So if you piss him off, he'll get weaker, becoming easier to defeat. But if his emotions are in control and he's beating you and he's absorbing energy from you, because that's what he could do. He doesn't, then he's at the top, that he's at his strongest.
What I remember from the comics is that the Red Hulk is just better when he's calm. So he's more of a stoic type of character, whereas the Hulk, he feeds off that anger.
Well, Hulk is stoic.
The Hulk is stoic when he's calm.
Yeah.
Well, but Red Hulk, when he's fighting and he's calm and he's calculated, like a soldier should be.
I always felt like he was more like from the smiling and like him and Red She-Hulk. I always thought that they were sadistic.
I think when they're in control.
When they're in control, sure, but when they let the power take over, they become demons.
Yeah, but then they're not in control and there's room
but
for
that
them
doesn't
to
mean
fail.
they're at their weakest, because if the power controls them, they're not angry. They're just letting
Right.
their instincts rampage, which
Right.
causes them to become sadistic.
I know that you wrote a fan story about the Hulk, and the Red Hulk was a pretty big character in there.
Red Hulk and Red She-Hulk was in it.
Right.
As well as She-Hulk.
So how did you write the Hulk, and how do you think that they're gonna compare it to this?
Well, I'm not gonna make comparisons to my fan story, because what I did was I took liberties. You know, I fucked everybody's origin story up. You know, fucking hell. She-Hulk got beat by the Red Hulk. That's how she became She-Hulk. You know.
Okay, but do you think that they're not gonna mess up origins? They already have.
I mean, yeah. So who's to say?
Right.
Know?
They messed up She-Hulk's origins in that show.
Who's to say? Why are you gonna bring that up?
That was
man?
a hell of a blood transfusion from what I remember.
It was a
that shit was crap. Right, a little drippy drip.
That was enough to have her fully Hulk out.
So
come on.
They've already messed up origin stories. It seemed like they messed up Banner's origin story here too, or at least they messed up things where the places where the character was supposed to go. Professor Hulk is really just a raging vagina. So come on. Take liberties at this point. They're taking liberties. Why can't you take liberties?
Okay, so what did I do?
What'd you do with Red Hulk?
Okay, I had Red Hulk. He already existed. But I'm pretty sure in the comics, something happened to Betty, and Ross tried to save her life by pretty much doing the same thing that he did to himself to her, which caused her to become Red She-Hulk.
In your
No, in the comics, I'm pretty sure.
Comics,
yeah.
Okay.
But for me, what I did was I killed off Betty. Betty is dead.
Oh.
And he tried to bring her back by using a thing, and that gave birth to Red She-Hulk, where that's just Red She-Hulk, who can transform into Betty. But Betty is dead. She has Betty's memories and her emotions, but she's not Betty. You know, she loves Bruce Banner, but that's only because the body and the memories love Bruce Banner.
Right.
So she's like, I'm not her. I'm not her. I just have all her memories.
Wow.
You know? And then when he realized that I'm not Betty, he kind of, you know, threw me aside or left me away and stuff, and that pissed her off. And then she teamed up with the leader and then found a way to mind control the father so she can frame the Hulk, which it was very convoluted. And then, you know, she was going to be together with the Hulk forever and stuff like that. Her plan was weird. She was a wild card.
Well, I guess it just reflected her personality. She was
chaos.
Yeah, she wasn't sane.
Chaos. She wasn't sane. She was nice, because at the end, I mean, if I would have made this a trilogy like I was planning to, I think she would have either sacrificed herself for the greater good, or she would have just vanished and then everybody had to find her again.
So it wasn't that she was evil. She went about the things she wanted the wrong way.
She's chaotic neutral.
Okay, so chaotic neutral is not evil. She's crazy.
She's crazy.
She's crazy ex-girlfriend.
She does have compassion.
Okay.
In my story, if it wasn't for her, She-Hulk would have died.
Oof.
Yeah. Betty, Red She-Hulk, convinced Bruce to give her the blood transfusion, which would have brought her out of the coma that she was in and turned her into She-Hulk. So,
wow. That's pretty crazy. I would say that overall, it was lackluster. This version of Red Hulk that we got to see was just kind of crap. I didn't like it.
I mean, we didn't see nothing yet.
Yeah, we didn't see a whole lot. But this is the issue I have with it.
No, all we saw was his big ass red nipples, right? He has like the same hair distribution as the regular Hulk, which is like, bro, y'all literally just took Hulk's body and created made it red. That's it.
Is it just me, or is Marvel's CGI getting
It looks worse.
And
it
worse
doesn't look as good as Green Hulk. It doesn't look as Green Hulk.
In the Incredible Hulk, you could see texture on his skin, the way his veins were popping out. Like, it had this realism to it that was honestly terrifying.
That was Go Hulk. This is Stop Hulk.
Bro, Go Hulk? This is... Bro, this Hulk was not scary at all. It kind of looked like in the Shrek movie where Shrek pops out.
Different, like you see the hair. It made it look like this was just Hulk's body.
Nah,
right?
Bro. This Hulk has as much texture as Shrek.
They could have shaved him, had him be like smooth skin but mad muscular. Made him either a little wider to just insinuate y'all not just recycling stuff. Because when I looked at dude's body, I'm like,
right,
he just looks like I mean, I get it. He's Red Hulk, but he literally just looks like Red Hulk. That's it.
He doesn't have. This is the thing, right? Because
Red Hulk is muscular.
The Red Hulk is muscular,
and he's wide too, just like the Hulk. It's just that
you gotta realize this though.
You have to make some separation.
The way that the MCU moved into making the Hulk appear to have a similar body structure to Mark Ruffalo, it was just like they took Mark Ruffalo and then they said, let's add muscle to that. So his posture, everything, the way he looked would have been if Mark Ruffalo was just a freaking bodybuilder. They could have done the same thing with Harrison Ford, but it seems like they just took a cut and paste.
Yeah, they copy paste and then they changed
person.
the color from
and
green to red.
That's crap. I also don't even like the shading. They didn't render this Hulk properly.
And not to mention, he's looking kind of pale. Red Hulk is dark red.
This Hulk is looking.
He's blood
He's
red.
looking bright red, like a happy, friendly red. And this is not a happy, friendly Red Hulk.
Blood red, and his eyes on fire.
What about his eyes?
Yeah, his eyes on fire.
What about the energy?
He don't got no goddamn mustache.
Dude radiates energy. This dude is not radiating energy. He popped out and he kind of just looked like a screaming little monster. That's not how Red Hulk operates in the comics. You know, he's actually smarter. I remember there was a show that showed Red Hulk perfectly. So
what, the Agents of Smash?
No, it wasn't Agents of Smash. It was the Avengers show. Hulk had an appearance in that, and everybody thought that the Hulk was doing certain things, but it turned out to be Red Hulk.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
And,
he's a mysterious Hulk,
right?
And every time he dealt damage,
everybody thought it was.
Yeah.
So I think it was Iron Man actually was trying to find out what was going on. He flew to where the incident was happening because he was like, let's figure out what this is. They're saying it's Hulk or whatever. He gets there. They see it's the Red Hulk, and they're like, what the hell? And the only person that could defeat him was Hulk. And they were able to see it wasn't Bruce Banner that was doing these things. But I like how the story started with some mystery around it. Everybody was questioning, is Hulk kind of lashing out again? How do we handle it? Because he's a friend of ours, or
it's
at the very
weird,
least
though.
he's an ally.
I know it's for the story.
They're not going to do that shit
plot,
here.
But honestly, look at the dude, right? He's been doing work with y'all. He's chilling with y'all.
Right.
He has no reason to lash out.
But the thing is, at that point, at least in the cartoon, right, they didn't know Hulk well enough. They knew Hulk as an ally, but no one was truly his friend except maybe Thor.
Wasn't Hawkeye in this show, so one of his friends too? Or was that another Avengers show?
This is Avengers, the Avengers Assemble.
Because I remember there was this one scene where Hawkeye made Hulk laugh so hard that he turned back into Bruce.
I don't think that was
I know
Avengers Assemble.
It's probably a different one, because Spider-Man did that too.
Yeah.
Spider-Man made Hulk laugh so hard he turned back to Bruce too.
Yeah, I don't think that's this particular one. Avengers Assemble was a serious natured show, even though it was a kid's show. And I like the way that they developed each character. But the storyline behind the Red Hulk was one of my favorite Red Hulk storylines on the screen. I don't know what they're going to do here with this one. Obviously, he's going to lean into the whole military background thing.
Yeah, because I think I saw a picture of him looking down, saluting with his big-ass red muscles.
My question is, how in the fuck is Captain America supposed to fight this man?
And that's another thing. Is he even an antagonist?
Because first of all, Steve Rogers is dead.
Hold on now.
Sam ain't beating that.
Hold on now. Is Red Hulk in this movie an antagonist? We don't know.
I don't want to see a protagonist Red Hulk. He doesn't start out that way.
He doesn't. No. He's antagonistic to the Hulk. He's not a bad guy. He just hates Hulk.
That's not 100% true.
He's Thunderbolt Ross.
He was doing things that were messing people up. He was breaking laws. Okay. When he got his Hulk power, he was taking matters into his own hands. People thought it was the Hulk causing all this chaos. So even though he's not an evil person, he's only evil.
He's
chaotic.
Yeah, Red Hulk.
He's a problem.
I'm pretty sure all Hulks have a chaotic aspect.
Right, he's a problem. Red Hulk is a problem. So if they bring him into this movie and they try to make him seem like some sort of good guy right off bat, that's going to be an issue. Because at the very least, by the end or middle of the Red Hulk story, he's supposed to be more of an anti-hero. He just does what he'll save people, but he's only going to do it if it benefits him to do so. He does what he wants. He doesn't have some sort of moral compass that he's following. He's just doing what he wants to do. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But when it comes to Bruce Banner, it's always going to be like, I'm trying to fuck you up. So I hope they take that route, but I don't feel like they're going to, because Marvel, man, They always want to make everybody a good guy. They always want to make every character
Either
likable.
a good guy or a misunderstood bad guy.
Right, we were talking about that in the group chat. By the way, if you want to have more of these deep conversations with us, you need to get into our group chat. We're going to put the link in the comments. But anyways.
Which is funny.
What?
Because you see Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
She was a bad guy.
But she was likable.
But hold on. She was likable, yeah, but she was a bad guy, and she had no misunderstanding. She just, I'm here to spread havoc.
Right.
She's gonna have fun doing it, and
right.
It was fun to watch her have. It was.
She was truly chaotic.
She was so good at being bad. I'm mad they got rid of her.
Right. She was bad, at least from her perspective. She was just bad because she enjoyed it. And
I want to see her more.
Right. As the viewers, we were kind of like, you know what? Like, she's kind of wilding out. We're enjoying it too. But I feel like Marvel has had this strategy for a while now, where every bad guy
over one Wanda.
Every bad guy has to be likable. Every bad guy has to be misunderstood.
Doing something bad for a good reason.
Right. Like, listen, we have the greatest intentions, but it's just this extreme thing we have to do is the only solution to our problem. Yeah, like so Thanos.
You see what Killmonger was gonna do? He wanted to help out the black community by giving them weapons.
Right.
So, but he's not gonna try and fix the solution where they're harming each other.
Right.
And all he's gonna do is give them the means to continue and
harming
perpetuate that without, you have to tackle the society and not.
Think about this. The amount of money that Killmonger had because of all the crimes he was committing, stealing, and all that stuff, right? He could have went back to his communities, created community centers, and all other types of things.
But instead, what he chose to do?
Community.
Instead, what he chose to do was go to a community where the black people were thriving, right, and being together harmoniously, and ruin it.
Right. Take over it.
Ruin it. And
what was the first thing he did?
And then try and say, I'm here, I'm going to do this for my people.
The first thing he did was say, let's give away the vibranium so that everybody...
Specifically to black people.
Right. Well, no, he was gonna make the vibranium accessible to the U.S.
I'm pretty sure he was insinuating just black people. Because
there was no way.
He was all about just,
There was no way he was going to make it accessible to just black.
He was saving it. He was doing all that shit for his people.
He felt like if it was accessible to everyone, then his people would have benefited from it. But in actuality, the people that would have actually taken it would have taken it and used it for war. And that was why it should have never been given away in the first place. But I'm saying he had the power, he had the influence to go a positive route.
Yeah, not to mention,
Which is why the character, in my opinion, I didn't like him. I love Michael B. Jordan. I love his acting. But I thought the character Killmonger in the MCU was stupid.
Like,
he was too smart to be that stupid.
He would have probably been better if he would have survived at the end, so then he can work with Black Panther to try and make a better community. He's he's preaching all of this nonsense, and here's Black Panther like, yo, I'm heeding you. I understand. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But this is a better way to do it.
So he's like, nah, man, you want to save me so you can put me in jail? I'm gonna kill myself.
Right.
Like, come on.
You realize the direction they could have went, right? And this is gonna actually tie into what we wanted to talk about. The direction they could have went with Black Panther, if they kept Killmonger alive, even though
he did some terrible things.
He did awful things, and even though the actor for Black Panther died, they could have made Killmonger.
Nope. I'm going to stop you right there. Stop it.
Here's why.
No.
Check it out.
I don't want to hear it.
No, I'm going to say it.
I don't want to hear it.
They could have made him the next Black Panther, but God. Not by replacing, not by making him T'Challa. T'Challa could have died if that's the route they wanted, but they could have shown that him and T'Challa had grown closer and he had learned from him, and then took up the mantle in a positive way.
How about no?
No, that would have worked. I would have been okay with that.
Crazy Dutch bastard.
I would have been okay with that.
I know you
not. You're not. You're like, eh.
What they could have done, what they should have done, but they didn't do, was have Black Panther 2 take place between Infinity War and Endgame. Because at the end of Infinity War, Black Panther was one of the persons that got dusted.
That's true.
So then the whole movie, in the second movie of
he
Black
wouldn't
Panther
have been
2
there.
Would have explained why he wasn't there. And then everybody's wanting his death because everybody thinks he's dead. But no!
That would have been cool too.
He wanted to die from off screen, mind you. They didn't even want to make like a CGI battle where he was fighting and he was taking out mad people and he got stabbed by something crazy like a demon or some shit. And he went out fighting, taking out that demon to save Wakanda. Right? No! He died from a mysterious disease that he didn't tell nobody about until it was too late. That's quite familiar. But no.
That's how the actor actually passed. And it's very sad that they chose to take that route.
That's not sad. That's manipulative and evil. Why the hell
sad.
They're marketing the death of Chadwick Boseman to get butts and seats to watch Black Panther 2?
They acted like it was a send-off, but it wasn't really a send-off.
No, they were marketing
it was a
his
marketing
death.
scheme.
Yeah, because I'm seeing Chadwick Boseman's face as Black Panther to market Black Panther 2. It was like, we get it. He died.
Yeah.
And it sucks that you guys are using that.
Yeah.
To get us invested into this movie. I don't want to see pencil Black Panther, right? She's not intimidating. She's tiny, she's thin. She was better off as the tech wizard girl, right? Giving all of the shit and doing all of this stuff. What she was doing in the first movie, when then she took over the car and stuff like that, and she was helping Black Panther
She was
out.
actually pretty comedic.
I mean,
she brought levity to the story. in a fun
I still
way.
had problems with her character, but she was better in
I liked
that
her
role.
character.
No, I hated her.
I liked her character.
You wanna know why I didn't like her?
Why?
They were taking away other people's skills to build her up.
That's not her character's fault.
No,
that's writing. That's just bad writing.
That's why I didn't like her.
That's
she
bad
was
writing.
arrogant, and then they made people dumber around her. So they was like, what
I think that her character
in a vacuum.
If she was really fun.
If she stopped with all of the colonizer jokes, yeah, sure.
Yeah, fine.
Cause that colonizer, is it because I'm white? Yeah, you're a colonizer. How about you black? Like, what if I started doing that to you, huh? Oh, here comes Tarzan.
Right.
And then you could be like, oh,
right.
How dare you use that against me?
But I say that her character was fun. The writing,
she was having fun.
They use that type of writing because they know that that type of writing is going to get a laugh out of, sad to say, a majority of the black community. But there's a reason for that. Hi, what?
How you doing?
What do you want?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. Anyway,
you stupid.
Not one person, I'm pretty sure, as my memories, not one person laughed at the "I'm sure you did your best" joke. That shit pissed me off.
Are you kidding me? The movie theater was dying at that joke.
When she said, I'm sure you did your best.
I saw that movie 3 times, yeah.
That shit is gross. That was gross.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Bro, it's like Hulk, Bruce Banner was like, because I didn't think
Shut up.
I'm sure you did your best.
This is the thing I'm trying to say.
Cocky,
the
reason that
Disney writers use those type of jokes, that type of language, and just write that way in general is because they know that it's going to get a reaction out of a majority of people. And sad to say, a lot of people are pretty shitty. They have really messed up opinions of other groups of people and biases.
Isn't Bruce Banner one of the smartest people on the planet?
It doesn't matter. It's almost like when you're the underdog, or at least you perceive yourself as the underdog, being able to laugh at anyone superior than you is going to be widely accepted. But it's baiting. They're baiting people in and making them realize in a way that's deceptive that, that's
Because then you could, but then you,
they're normalizing that type of behavior.
Maybe in the moment you'd be like,
right, in the moment you laugh, but then afterwards you're like, that was kind of messed up.
You're like, wait a minute.
What
the fuck did he do to deserve that?
Right, but then if it happens all the time, and then...
But it does happen all the time.
Right, it happens all the time, right? But everybody is constantly going and seeing this stuff. You're normalizing it. You're making them deadened to the fact that it's happening. So they're not even paying attention to it, to the point where it happens and they don't even register it. And they just chuckle along with everybody else. That's how all types of horrific things happen. It's a little bit at a time, but it's just continuous to the point where you're doing it and you don't even recognize it. Now, if you're sensitive to it because you take the time to put yourself on the outside of society and look in and see where the things that are happening, like what's wrong, then sure, you can look at it and find the issue with it and you won't laugh. But most people, they're not able to look outside themselves, let alone look outside of society. You know what I'm saying? So Disney capitalizes on that, and they're turning people into discriminatory,
hateful individuals. They're
hateful.
They're hate mongering.
Cancel culture.
That's the word of the day, guys.
Pieces of crap.
Hate monger.
So we got to avoid that by taking that type of language, taking those type of jokes out of writing. But Disney's never going to do that. Disney's about money, and they're about easy capitalization. That's all they're about. But anyways, this Black Panther, right? They did not replace T'Challa. And I know a lot of people were upset about that, myself included.
Yeah.
They should have just made a new actor for T'Challa.
How the hell are you going to kill off Black Panther?
Right.
Right? He has so many stories. In comic books, you have different stories, many different stories and turnouts, startings, and endings for a single character, depending on who's writing the story. Mm-hmm. So you have, and some, like, this story could be boring for Black Panther, but this story could be incredible for Black Panther. Mm-hmm. This is the one that most people want to see now that they have Black Panther on the live action, how they're going to adapt it to live action. Mm-hmm. And then Chadwick Boseman unfortunately perishes because of cancer. Mm-hmm. And now Black Panther died as with him. Mm-hmm. So now all of these stories and all of these adventures that Black Panther was supposed to go through can no longer be gone through. And it's like, what the hell? So now what you're going to do is you're either going to replace Black Panther with his sister, which nobody gives a fuck about, or...
They didn't care about her in the comics either. That's why her run was so short.
Or you're going to replace him with his son, who just so happens to also be named T'Challa.
Right.
Who gives a fuck? You could have just recasted the dude. I'm pretty sure Chadwick Boseman, like, he was like, yo, recast me. I don't want to die. I don't want this character to die with me. He was introduced. Yeah, go ahead.
Check this out. Let's say that we tried to compromise and we said, fine, allow his son to be the next Black Panther because we'd still get that positive black male influence.
All of the experiences.
Have him go through different things.
Bruh, okay.
Have him go through different things, have his own storyline, certain comparisons to the stories that his dad would have went through. Let's say they did that. I would have been okay with that if they did it right. But not only did they make the son so young that he had no significance in the story.
He was like, what, 5?
He had like 5 minutes on screen.
How old was he?
9 years old. Dude didn't do shit. He had nothing to offer that movie at all, other than us just knowing that this guy had a kid before he died. So that was a complete waste of time.
Yeah, so what's the time skip going to be?
Complete waste of time. They didn't recast T'Challa. And the fact that they didn't do it, like you said, that's taking away all the potential for future storylines.
You know what sucks? Now I'm gonna be talking to the brothers that are watching, right?
You better look at
I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna talk to my kin, okay? Those who are a part of the African American community. The first Black Panther movie was such a cultural phenomenon that brought us together to celebrate black superheroes, right?
Yes, it was.
He gets a phenomenal intro in Captain America, where he was seen as a threat. He was also in a position of power because he was a king, right? Mm-hmm. Then he has his own movie. That movie brought so many people together, and yeah, sure, it did bring some negatives with people trying to segregate white people out of the movie theaters or have them pay for the theaters to give up to us. That's besides the point. The fact that so many people were to come together and celebrate pretty much the embodiment of black excellence, right? Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Everyone did.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
It was across all races, all creeds. It was great
seeing the amount of people, my skin color, unify in such a major way, mm-hmm. because of a fictional character. Mm-hmm. But that's what fictional characters are supposed to do. They're supposed to inspire us to be better. Mm-hmm. Black Panther was the inspiration for African Americans.
Yes, he was.
And all of the stuff that he's gone through. Now, you should not be happy or satisfied or content with the fact that we only get one movie of that. You got Iron Man, he gets 3 movies. Thor, 4 movies. Captain America 3, I said Captain mm-hmm. America already, right?
You only said Iron Man 3.
Okay. Black Panther got 1 movie to his name.
Right.
Only 1 movie.
Right.
And then in the second movie, he's dead.
Right.
Really?
And the second movie isn't a Black Panther movie. Let's make that perfectly clear.
It was
a Shuri movie, and what was Ironheart. It was Shuri and Ironheart.
All of the
That's what that
adventures,
was.
all of the lessons, all of the stuff that Black Panther, T'Challa, right, could have brought to us, they scrapped it. They scrapped it because they saw an easy out. You know, Disney is a fan of replacing the male lead with the female lead. And I don't care what anybody says, it's obvious. You know, Hulk, She-Hulk, Blade, they want to have his daughter take over. They want to Fantastic Four, they want Invisible Woman to be the lead. Who else? Hawkeye, replaced by the female Hawkeye.
Not even relative of his.
Yeah. So it's like, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Wasp was the one that took charge most of the time. It's like, we see what we see what you're doing, and it's not that I'm bitching about it because I love me some strong female characters. I like the She-Hulk, right? But how they do it is weird, right? So
I'll say this before you finish. When you say how they do it,
at
least from what I get,
the writing is terrible.
You shouldn't have to make one character seem stupid to make another character seem good.
Deadpool.
Or smart.
Deadpool right now is being very successful in the theaters. So what does Marvel decide to do? They decide to kill him off in the comics. Somehow, the undying Deadpool, they decide to kill him and have his daughter take up the mantle. Another mantle replacing shit. Like, what? Why can't it just be, if she's going to take on a mantle or do whatever the fuck, the same thing that Deadpool does, why can't she just work with Deadpool? Why can't it be father and daughter kicking ass together?
It could be like a Batman Robin situation.
And you know how Deadpool is seen as insane? She could have been one of the only people in the entire universe that got his sense of humor, which would have made other people think she was crazy. But when she talks to other people, she seems sane, which is even more of an enigma to people. Like,
check this out.
How the hell
check this out.
Are you normal, but you understand this dude?
It's not even that Marvel, or the MCU rather, or even the comics.
I'm pretty sure she's black too, because he
probably
the black girl.
It's
and
not
the
even that
black.
the comics can't do it.
They won't.
They don't want to.
Yeah,
because
there's a difference between
Thor:
and
Love
won't.
and Thunder. While it was a movie that had issues, I appreciated the end of the movie being that the father decided to stay with his daughter and they decided to go off and just fight together. It was this weird.
What the hell are you talking about?
That girl was his daughter.
That's Butcher's daughter.
What are you talking about?
The God Butcher? That was the God Butcher's daughter. He died.
That's his daughter now. He adopted her. That's his daughter.
That's his daughter. He actually has
Stepfather's
actually has a biological daughter
in
called
the comics.
Torin. They could have brought her in.
They didn't bring her in.
But they wanted to do this.
But I was okay with it because he took her on as his daughter, and it showed this like a father and a daughter, or a stepdaughter working together. I said there were issues with the movie, but I liked the ending of that, right? They could have done the same thing for Deadpool in the comics. They could have done the same thing for Logan. Wolverine didn't have to die.
Yeah, no, the writing decided to. But same thing with Spider-Man. If I were to write a Spider-Man story, what I would have done was I would have had Spider-Man and his daughter, Mayday. That's crazy. Her name is Mayday. Mayday Parker. She would have been Spider-Girl. Yeah. Right? But what I would have done was, she doesn't know that her father is Spider-Man. She thinks she just has superpowers, and she's going to go ahead and be a superhero. So she looks up to Spider-Man, so she trying to make her own Spider-Man outfit to try and be Spider-Girl. She's doing this, she's messing up, and then Spider-Man sees her, and he knows that that's Mayday, and he's like, I'm gonna take you under my wing. And the whole shtick about this comic would have been, Mayday is trying to keep her identity secret from Peter, but meanwhile Peter knows, and he's Spider-Man. He's just playing it off. Right. He's just like, and he's like, hey, Mayday, where you going? Oh, I gotta use the bathroom.
But that is something that Peter Parker would do.
Which would have been funnier too, because Mary Jane would know too. Right. So the only person that wouldn't know is Mayday. Right. So everybody's just like, look at she, it's so cute.
That'd be funny.
It's like, yo, Peter, remember when you used to do that? Yep. And he's like,
that'd be funny. But it would give her a lot of potential for growth and also be an entertaining story.
Another reason why she wouldn't think that her father was Spider-Man is because Spider-Man is so strong, and you're like,
Right, you see differences.
No offense, Dad, but you're a nerd.
I saw you struggling with that box yesterday.
Right.
Like, I saw you struggling.
He's like, you're a freaking nerd.
But listen.
Son, I can have so much fun writing these stories for these motherfuckers.
They're never going to bring you on because
I care. I'm a fan.
You care too much.
Yeah, I'm a fan. They need people that...
You're not a fake fan.
Okay.
You're not pushing anybody's agenda. You just care about the characters.
They have a path that they want to follow. And the only people that they would accept in that path are those who are going to walk alongside them.
Without any resistance.
Yeah, not anybody that's going to go against the flow or, go in their own avenue. You have to be in this street, in this lane, and we're going towards this.
Why do you think Henry Cavill is no longer really letting any of these superhero movies? He's been blackballed from superhero anything. He can't do The Witcher. He can't do anything in DC. This thing in Marvel that he did was a funny cameo. They're not going to give him a serious role.
You were just leaving.
Right. That's it. But this guy is a phenomenal actor.
That wasn't because of Marvel. That was probably because of Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds brought him on because he loves him.
Everybody loves Kid. He's
the Calverine.
Well, okay, yeah, he's the Calverine. He's not like on the levels of Keanu Reeves.
No, but he could get there.
He is the Calverine. He's not Keanu. He's the Calverine.
You know how he could get to Keanu if he was given Keanu roles?
No, not even just that. Because Keanu is Keanu because of Keanu.
Well, he's like that in real life.
Exactly. He's not the roles.
Henry Cavill is like that in real life too.
Exactly.
This dude walks around in New York City.
You heard the story?
Nobody notices
He
him.
was late to auditioning for Superman because he was playing World of Warcraft. He's one of us.
Give this man more roles.
He's one of us, but he's brolic. He's a big ass nerd.
Give this man more roles. That's
why he cares so much about the roles.
They're not going to bring him in because they know he cares. They know he's going to want to make sure that these characters are treated respectfully.
Yeah, that's what his issue was with
That's what his issue was with The Witcher.
They hated him because they was like, bro, he's so difficult to work with.
He had issues with Superman too.
It's like he wants the character to be like how he is in the comic. No, we want to do this.
It's almost
and
like,
what's the problem with that?
He wants to follow source material. Why does he want to do that? Whatever. But I wanted to bring it back to the fact that Blade really is what started this, right?
Of course.
Blade was the first time, at least in Marvel's history, that we had a male black character that was seen as amazing. There were people that did not watch Marvel anything. They didn't know anything about Marvel. Right. My mom included. Didn't know that Blade was Marvel. She loved Blade. She watched all 3 Blade movies.
Even though they rated R, really?
Yes. There was just something about the vampires and the style and all that shit that she was really into.
Bro, the movie started out
She hates superhero movies.
Bro, the movie started out with a vampire getting head from another vampire. Remember that? I was like, yo.
That movie was wild.
I haven't seen that movie in a while.
We gotta watch it again.
No. When I rewatched it, I think we watched it, last year, something like that?
It was.
And I saw that scene, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I was not paying attention.
Well, they cut certain shit from TV too.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
The thing is, Blade, right? He brought a lot of people together. People that were not Marvel fans because Wesley Snipes was a prominent black actor at the time.
Motherfuckers still trying to ice skate up here.
He was a great actor. He still is. And when they brought him into this role, everybody that just appreciated Wesley Snipes and wanted to support him came. But what they left with was an admiration for superhero movies.
And a want to see more.
And they wanted to see more. And that's why Blade got 3 movies, right? And they're trying to make another one because they realize, we need to bring something back. Yeah. But the issue I was making in the chat, I think it was yesterday or the day before, is that there only seems to be one prominent black character at a time. When it's a black male character, it's like they can't have more than one.
They can't give us too much power.
They can't have more than one.
We have, first of all, you could have had a Falcon movie.
Right.
I don't like. I am, and here goes another direct target attack from me to my community.
Skadoosh.
Right. Rocket launcher.
Right.
Why are you so happy that we got the hand-me-downs of a white man? It's like they don't trust us. They don't trust us to be our own superhero, so they have to give us the mantle of somebody else. Falcon was Falcon. He was an original. He's like an original black character.
Yes.
And they decided to give him the hand-me-downs of Captain America. Captain America is Steve Rogers or Bucky Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Falcon is Falcon. Falcon is Falcon. He could have been his own character. His arsenal could have been upgraded a little bit. right? Because I saw him was upgrading. Like,
it was.
His wings could turn into a shield, right? He has little boom 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 boom.
He had
right?
the drones.
Then he had the drone. What was it called? Red Wing.
Red Wing.
He has the means to do superhero stuff, but they always either underutilized him or turned him into a joke, like what they did in Ant-Man.
I was just about to say.
And Ant-Man?
No, not even Ant-Man.
Ant-Man beat him up, though.
The first time we really see Falcon in the MCU is when he meets Captain America. They're running around the track, right?
On your left. But
okay, that wasn't. No, but here's why I have an issue with it as a whole. Looking from the outside in and just looking at all of the different times they've joked on him. This man, Falcon was a badass.
Here's the thing.
He was a badass.
Here's the thing. You can take it that way, but I'm not going to, because Captain America is a superhuman.
But that's not the thing. It's not just with Captain America. It's every single time they've joked on him in combination.
Yeah, but then
they're painting this picture.
But then take a look at Black Panther. When he was introduced in Captain America 3, he was a force. Like, he was not only keeping up with them, he was catching them. Bucky Barnes, who is pretty much, he's also a super soldier, he was getting his ass kicked by Black Panther with and without the suit. Right. He was constantly running, and he could not escape this dude.
But this is the problem. They give it to one at a time.
But I know, but here's the thing. Well, look.
These are all superheroes.
They have two separate skill sets, right? Black Panther is a superhuman, and he's a beast. Falcon is a normal guy.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He trained a little something. He's a soldier, right?
Listen, no.
He's a soldier with special training.
Let me say something.
He doesn't have superpowers.
I know that, but let me say something.
So what do you mean he's not
I mean
normal dude, I mean he doesn't have superpowers.
Yes, he's a human that doesn't have superpowers, but his training, the amount of time this man put into training, first of all, he'd be more serious.
Then he'd be
way more skilled.
Well, here's the thing.
He'd be more equipped at using his weapons.
Here's the thing. Remember when he was introduced? I think he was introduced in a cartoon first.
Yeah.
He was a teenager. And he was...
In the cartoon, he was a teenager?
He was young. He was inexperienced. He was young and inexperienced. His suit, it wasn't wings. It was like holographic wings that came from his arms. And it would shoot like light talons out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? And he was very excitable, and he was like
but they didn't go that route in the MCU.
But he was like, I'm a soldier. So it's like, if you're trying to say that he's on par with Batman when it comes to training, I don't think he should be serious. I feel like he should have his own unique sense of humor, like when he was telling Natasha to pet his Red Wing. That's not a sex thing.
I don't mind him having a sense of humor. Here's the issue I have. Falcon, at least for me in the MCU, always seemed incompetent.
Well, yeah, because they didn't utilize him. Like when he got when he got beat up. Okay, see, Scott Lang, Ant-Man, he has training, right?
Yes. Yeah, but he's so goofy.
He's so goofy, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
But here's the thing. You know who else is goofy?
Deadpool.
Jackie Chan.
Yep, Jackie Chan is
goofy as hell. And you won't even think...
He'll beat a group of people's ass.
He will kick your ass while making a chant just so he can sit down once he's done kicking your ass.
Right.
But you will never know because of how silly he is.
But that's okay.
So that's the thing with Scott Lang.
You can still see Jackie Chan as a competent character.
Yeah, but look, everybody thinks that Scott Lang is a goof, he's a silly person, then dude takes his shirt off. And you see that he is ripped.
The most competent thing I've seen Falcon do was in Infinity Wars, I believe. When they had that big war scene and dude was like out there with War Machine or whatever.
War Machine, I'm not touching War Machine because he's still technically a sidekick of Iron Man. He's technically just a black Iron Man. Mm-hmm. But he has aspects to himself that are so unique. Like Iron Man, he's... You know, he has the energy beams, and War Machine, he's just militaristic, and he's gonna blow stuff up. And like when he was holding point, and he was blowing,
he was doing his damn thing.
Yo, he was kicking ass.
But here's the thing,
and it was so bad that the aliens had to take him out because they couldn't get past him.
But here's the thing, what did you say? He's basically just a black Iron Man.
He's a black Iron Man.
It's not true.
But
Here's why.
Because he's different.
1, he was actually trained to fly jets. 2, he was trained in fighting. He's a trained soldier, and he's been a soldier for long enough
it also makes sense because he's Tony Stark's best friend.
Right. He knows things that Tony Stark doesn't know. Does he know all of the science to the level that Tony does? Absolutely not. But as far as fighting goes, as far as the uses of weapon goes, he is a skilled master.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I always loved War Machine more than
I think if it was War Machine versus Iron Man on just strength alone, like if they were just put in a ring just strength,
Iron Man would take place because he's
going to be a hard battle.
No, he's more technologically advanced. Not to mention Tony Stark built that.
Now he is. He knows how to with all nanosuits.
Yeah, but remember that's also his suit. He knows how to take that shit apart. He knows the weak spots.
Take Iron Man 1, Iron Man, and take War Machine.
Iron Man will still win.
Nope. It's going to be a hard fight.
Iron Man would win because that's his suit.
It's going to be.
He knows his suit.
You know how he would win? He'd win if he knew that it was a fight that he was going to have to get into. But what if it's just an immediate thing? What if it's just an actual fight?
Now you're giving him the advantage.
Just like the villains do. It's not like he walks into every fight knowing that there's going to be a fight.
If it was just like, look, he lost to his buddy in the other movies because he was drunk and he was depressed.
That's true too.
Right?
That's true.
But if he was on the top of his game, he would have won. Because he was still
He
struggling.
understands the technology of his suit, but I think that he would struggle.
Nah, he would have took that shit apart. He would have known exactly. Not to mention.
Don't you have to get close to do that?
No. He got projectile weapons. Not to mention Jarvis can dissect that shit too.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
War Machine done got Jarvis.
So what do you think about War Machine? Before we move on, what do you think about War Machine as far as how he operates outside of fighting Iron Man?
He's different enough to be his own character. Like I wouldn't mind seeing a War Machine movie.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Right? Like
it would be probably like Mission Impossible or something.
Ain't gonna be no damn Mission Impossible.
Or Maverick. Remember the Maverick movie?
He would be a tank. He would be a tower shooting everything and blowing stuff up.
Nah, but you remember the Maverick movie?
With the planes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be a lot of mixtures of that, which would be really cool.
Air battles?
Right. There'd be a lot of planning.
It'd be a lot more militaristic instead of scientific.
It wouldn't be like an Iron Man movie where Iron Man is by himself.
Hell,
War Machine would have a team.
It could if y'all really wanted to appease the black community. War Machine and Falcon and War Machine.
Bro, that shit would be fire.
They're both military.
I'd be so happy with that. I'd be so happy with that. I'd be perfectly fine.
Hell, it could have been all. It could have been War Machine, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier. Bruh. They're all three military. Bruh. So you have Captain America, Bucky, then you have Falcon, and then you have War Machine, and they're kicking ass.
That'd be amazing.
For America.
That'd be the action movie of every summer.
Like, and it would have been diverse.
That'd be like Rambo type shit.
It would have been diverse too, because it's not just black people or it's not just white people. It's a mix between the two, and
all working together.
A very accurate diversity range.
Right. They're not just picking people out and saying, "Oh well, we have to force them together." No, it makes sense that they're together.
Exactly, because they're all in the military.
I would love a movie like that, but we don't get to see that sort of thing.
It could have been a side team mission led by Nick Fury.
Right. Right. But here's what Marvel is doing. Marvel's taking characters like Thunderbolt Ross, and instead of simply letting that character live, which they should have done in T'Challa, they're making that character kind of shitty. Now, a lot of people are upset that they have given Harrison Ford the role. That's what it is. It's a double standard.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
Why give Harrison Ford the role after Hurt died? That's not fair. I think that it's good to keep the character alive.
Died with the actor.
No, I think that Thunderbolt Ross should have.
Sarcasm.
I know. I'm just saying to people. I think that he should exist. I want Red Hulk to exist. I want to see Red Hulk. I want to see more of the General, right? But it pisses me off that they didn't do the same thing for Black Panther, and they had so many excuses for it.
Not to mention, I feel as if it's too late now to introduce the Red Hulk. Because of the
Hulk storyline is done.
Hulk story is over.
This dude is out here meditating on the beach.
Bro, is right. He's dabbing with children. He's a threat to literally
no one. He's not even a threat to his old self.
So what incentivized Thunderbolt Ross to go over that line and make himself a Hulk?
Because I think you're right. Because I think that they're gonna make the Red Hulk a protagonist, which is going to piss me off because they're really just going to be replacing Hulk with Red Hulk. And then they're going to try and see if they can do it better.
Bro, they didn't even need to have him.
They're going to change his whole character.
He could have just stood up and he would have been calm. He's about
to be Bruce Banner squared. They're going to change the entire character.
Bruce Squidward.
They're gonna change his entire character because they're like, listen, everybody's been complaining about how we treated Hulk, and we need a new Hulk character because we need a tank for the team, and we need to bring in Red Hulk and just make him into the new Hulk. But they're not gonna take the time to use Red Hulk the way he's supposed to be used in the comics. They're gonna just change him entirely and ruin it. And that's the issue I have with Marvel. They're okay with replacing a character if they have big plans to fuck it. But they're not okay with replacing a character when the character was genuinely treated fairly in cinema. The way Captain America went out was some weird shit. Some weird shit. They could have made another Captain America movie about everything that he did in that other universe that he went back to.
Well, he was returning the stones?
Exactly.
I didn't really care about that.
I would have loved it. Chris Evans would have done an amazing job.
No, because then it would be like, okay, so he's going to have to wait idly by to, because as Hitler is killing all the Jews, he just has to let that happen?
No, it didn't have to be that route. He didn't have to disappear and be some sort of ninja. He could have still done plenty of things. Shit, they could have maybe even explored ideas with a new superhero that was secretly him the entire time. You know, Captain America wouldn't have had it in him to sit idly by and watch things happen.
He would have been called Stars and Stripes.
Something like that, bro. Whatever.
His code name would have been Stripes. Codename Stripes.
They could have done something. Could have been a great movie. Could have seen some old superheroes that we never got a chance to see.
Like Howard Stark as Iron Man.
Or even see Wolverine from that point in time, because you know Wolverine worked with Captain America.
I know Howard Stark was never Iron Man, but they could have used that as a way to show what the original Iron Man looked like. Yeah.
They had opportunity. They missed that. They decided to make Falcon into Captain America, which I thought was a mistake.
It doesn't make sense because it also goes against, like, why does he need a shield when he has his wings? Doesn't that fuck up his aerodynamics?
Beyond that, haven't you noticed
that his
shield
is very counterintuitive?
Haven't you noticed that in the show he didn't want the shield?
Yeah.
He gave it away the first chance he had because he knew as a character it didn't make sense. He knew it didn't make sense for him to have that shield.
It should have been Bucky.
So if the character knows that and the audience knows that, why are you trying to force both to see it a different way? It just doesn't make sense. But that actually leads me into this situation with RDJ and Dr. Doom, right? Mm-hmm. So let's bring up that header real quick. We're gonna move into the next segment. What was it? Yeah. But right now, we have Dr. Doom being recast as Robert Downey Jr. I've heard rumors that this version of Dr. Doom is actually going to take place in the same universe as the Fantastic Four. I don't know how that's going to work. If that's true, though, that's really messed up because that would mean that they have recast Dr. Doom from that original actor that played him in the early 2000 movies.
From the original Fantastic Four.
Which is another form of hypocrisy.
But they recast everybody.
It's just more hypocrisy. You can recast everyone but the person that everyone wanted you to recast so that they can continue the storyline. Not saying people didn't want to see Dr. Doom. We do. But the dude that played him before was actually pretty good at it. But he's dead.
Is he?
Yeah, in that movie, I believe he died. The Silver Surfer.
I thought you meant the actor.
No, the Rise of the Silver Surfer Doom died. So why? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So why bring him back to that universe?
The same universe. When you talk about Fantastic Four, they're talking about their Fantastic Four, not that old Fantastic Four.
But they brought someone from that old Fantastic Four. Johnny Storm was just in the Deadpool movie.
That was in Deadpool, though. Deadpool doesn't give a fuck about their universe. And
Man.
it doesn't even take place in the MCU's world. MCU, even though it's technically world 1999, they made it so that it's 616.
Yeah.
Deadpool's world isn't 616. It's like, I know. It's like 1080 or something.
His world isn't 616, but remember he was sent to that void universe and other people were sent there too.
Yeah, from dead worlds.
From dead worlds.
Which means that Johnny Storm was from a Fantastic Four world that died already. So it's not the same.
So how they're gonna have to find a new universe because as far as we know, the Fantastic Four is not a part of 616 either.
No. Well, they weren't introduced yet. So they could be in it, but they were doing their own thing somewhere else. If not, they didn't start yet.
I don't think that's the way they're gonna go because with the Marvels.
I'll say we'll see, but honestly, I don't know if I will.
I think that they're gonna introduce the Fantastic Four in the same world that they introduced in the Marvels at the end.
But wasn't Fantastic Four the ones that started everything? Kind of.
What do you mean?
They were the first. They were the first, like.
They were the first team.
Right. So
in the comics. So not the movies.
So it should have started with the Fantastic Four, then branched out to the Avengers, to X-Men, to Inhumans, to all of these other things.
I mean, when you think about it, that was the way it was working in the early 2000s. They started with Fantastic Four movies.
But in this version, they started with Iron Man.
And it was clear that the Fantastic Four movies, I believe the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, was in the same universe.
I don't know about all that.
I believe it was. So you have Spider-Man, you have Blade. That definitely looked like the same universe. Not gonna lie.
You dragging it.
I'm not.
You stretch
They were made by the same company. These are all the Fox movies. I have no reason to believe that. Huh?
They were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no reason to believe that they weren't a part of the same universe. Elektra too. Daredevil too. So they had their own little thing going on and just was less explicit about it. You know, they were putting cameos here and there, like little tiny Easter eggs. Whereas the MCU is just extremely direct about, oh yeah, this person's here, this person's here. I just don't know what they're going to do next. But it pisses me off that they made Robert Downey Jr. into Doctor Doom, not because I think that he's going to do the role of Misjustice or Injustice.
It's just going to be weird seeing his face.
It's going to be weird.
He's going to have to hide his face the entire time.
It's going to be super weird.
They're going to have to, it can't be just Robert Downey Jr. because just Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man.
And here's what's going to really piss me off. If they make Tony Stark specifically turn into Doctor Doom.
Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because Doctor Doom...
I believe there's a comic where that happened.
But Doctor Doom is his real name.
No, Victor Von Doom. Doctor Doom is his villain name. And nobody called him Doctor Doom in the comics before he became
But here's the thing though.
They just called him Victor.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna do a little flashback.
All right.
Back when I was in elementary school.
Back when I was a child.
My name is Boy Doe.
Yeah.
Somebody in elementary school called me Mr. Doe. It was wrong, but they called me Mr. Doe.
Why?
I don't fucking know. It was a teacher, and he kept calling me Mr. Doe because I guess he didn't want to try or pronounce my whole name because the first part of the name, people for some reason mess up so often that it's boy. The E is silent.
What do they say? Boye do?
They either say boye or they say boer, like put an R in there or something like that. And then they would ask if my last name is French, and I'm like, I fucking know.
It's like they look at you and say, "Oh yeah, he's black, man.
I gotta not mess this up.
This has more syllables than it's supposed to. I just know it."
Right. It's probably the BOYE probably is boye.
Right.
Boye.
Right. Let me jump into my ethnic class.
So for Victor Von Doom, someone could just call him, "Hey, what's up, Doom? What's up, Doom?"
But we've never seen that happen.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
That's the only reason I'm saying it is in the comics and also in the movies. It was never something that people said. They didn't walk up to him and say, "Hey, Doom."
Listen.
They said, "Hey, Victor."
Listen. If your last name is Von Doom,
you can call me Doom.
If your last name is Von Doom, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, what's up, Doom?"
You can call me Doom.
Doom. Yep. What's up, Doom?
That's a fire ass name.
I'm calling you Doom.
But we're from the hood.
Whatever.
So that shit would actually be fire.
Whatever.
In the hood, yo, what up, Doom?
What up, Doom?
But nah.
Doom?
In the actual professional world, I think that's something people would stay away from.
They call him Victor. They would joke. Like sometimes they would joke and call him Dr. Doom. Because I'm pretty sure someone called him Dr. Doom jokingly.
It would have probably been Johnny.
Before he told. I think it was actually Invisible Girl that did that.
It probably would have been Johnny. But
Johnny,
we can fact check that. But I don't want RDJ to play Tony Stark and then have Tony Stark to somehow turn into Doom. I would just prefer if in that universe that RDJ was Victor Von Doom. But I don't want to see him play the character at all.
Right.
I don't want to see him play the character.
I think it would have been better if he would have just came back as a Tony Stark hologram.
Or just an evil Tony Stark.
No, why does he gotta be evil?
It's different universe.
He could have been
The multiverse theory is already out there.
It could have been instead of Jarvis being the AI, his voice could have been the AI.
Listen.
So it would have been either another Iron Man, or you could have done something with his daughter. Like, oh my God! Instead of Ironheart, do you know what I would have accepted with open arms?
Make his daughter.
His daughter.
It seemed like that's what they were building up to. My arm.
His daughter could have been rescued because it didn't make sense in this universe for Pepper to be rescued.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. She just came out of nowhere with the suit.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been the daughter. The daughter could have been rescued, and the AI could have been Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And it could have been kind of morbid because it's like
he uploaded his consciousness.
Right. He uploaded his consciousness because he knew that one day she's gonna want to do what he does, and it's not even just like out of narcissism. It's like she showed interest in that, so it was more of a just in case. Right. Just in case she finds herself walking in my footsteps, I will have a backup core thing to help her out. And she would have put on a suit. She would have gone through her first test ride. Right? He would have been silent for the whole part until she fucks up. To the point where like she's going really high like he did in the first movie, and then she messes up. Either she goes too high and she starts to float, or she's falling because the suit froze over. And then he would have powered up like, hey, what are you doing? And then she would have landed, and then she would have sat there or stand there talking to him, and then he either could have had like in the eyes where it was a hologram, or this thing popped out in the side of the head and actually projected his body to stand there, kind of like Superman's dad is an AI that makes a hologram
Jor-El,
of himself. Yeah, it could have been like that with Rescue, and he would have been her informant, her Jarvis, and he would have just been there for her.
Wouldn't that have just been a really beautiful way to respect a dead character and bring on a new mantle?
Right, and then here's another thing: there could be reminders that this isn't Tony. Like, even though people are starting to like get connected to this AI and like, yeah, it's like he never died.
Right.
Some of the responses he would say would be like, oh yeah, that's right. Like if she would have said something, he would be like, I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for that. Or you know, like it'd be like, remember, I'm just an AI. I don't have the answers to that.
Right.
Like if you ask, how did you feel when this is like, I don't got the answer to that because I'm not him.
But I'll be honest with you, it's almost like you're letting the fans cope with it too, in that way.
Yeah, because when he died, bro, the whole theater was silent.
Yeah, everybody's fucked up.
And that wouldn't have minimized his return. I mean, it wouldn't have minimized his death. I hate when people say, "Oh, bringing this thing back, it wouldn't minimize." It's like saying
it wouldn't have in that way.
It's like, look, if you have an interactive recording of your dead great grandmother,
it's like you're uploading your consciousness.
Does that minimize her death?
Absolutely not.
No, like.
But it can be copacetic.
It's like
it can be calming.
Rescue the daughter could have had him as a guide.
Right.
Right, and then they just
they did that with, right?
Who?
There was this Batman movie. It was a holiday special where you had Damian, but he was a little kid, and he was trying to become his own superhero, and he had his own bat suit that he stole, but the voice in the bat suit was actually Bruce Wayne's voice, and it was being projected to him. And even though the voice was not Batman, he kind of attached to it like that in the beginning. Obviously, Batman was still alive, but the whole point was if Batman was to die, that he had uploaded his consciousness into the suit so that when Damian decided to take up the mantle one day, he would have guidance from Batman.
It's right there. Why didn't you do that?
It was really cool.
Why didn't you, bro?
That's why I like that movie so much.
I would have loved that, but here's the thing, though. How would that have worked? Because it could work story-wise, but character-wise. Tony Stark is a side character, and that means I don't think he would require more money, which would, it would be expensive. We can't just get Robert Downey Jr. to play an AI for his daughter because it might be too expensive, so we could just make a new character where she doesn't have a Jarvis at all. But me personally, I would have loved to have a Tony Stark Jarvis for his daughter, who is the new Iron.
I'll be honest with
Rescue.
you. This is Disney we're talking about. I don't think money's an issue.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, come on. It's
Money's not an issue in this case. It would be an issue in some cases. That's a good point. But this is Disney. They spend more money on bullshit that they could easily just spend on that. You know, but it's too late.
Yeah, I remember my mom.
It's too late.
My mom the other day asked, "How do you think Disney got Rihanna to sing a song in Black Panther?" And I'm like, Disney? You wondering how Disney? That's crazy. Okay.
I wanted to bring up the issue with Jonathan Majors.
The controversy? The controversy?
I wanted to bring it up, and I think it's important.
Why?
Kang the Conqueror was supposed to be the next big villain, and obviously now we know that Doom is going to be the next big villain of this phase, and I think that it's extremely unfair. It's extremely unfair that Disney was perfectly fine with mistreating Johnny Depp and making an assumption when they didn't have all the facts
and they didn't learn from
and firing him, only to find out that he wasn't guilty. He didn't do those things he was accused of, and they refused to bring him back.
Well,
there was a lesson that they could have learned there.
To bring him back, it's Johnny Depp refused to come back after what they did.
They're not bringing him back.
Honestly, by bringing him back, they would. It's like a narcissist thing. They can't admit that they're wrong. By bringing him back, they're admitting that he was wrong.
They're not going to do it. I'm sure he would have loved to come back as the character if they were to say he was wrong.
Jack Sparrow. Bro, I feel like he should own the rights to Pirates of the Caribbean and make a TV show.
With everything Pirates. He did and Sea of Thieves and all of that, but with Jonathan Majors, it's the same situation. What he was accused of, he was found to not be guilty of doing that. But Disney refuses to admit that they're wrong. They dropped him because they felt like it was just bad for their personal image. Oh, we have somebody that's caught up in controversy.
Their personal image is already like...
Your personal image is dog shit.
It's doggy doku.
People are making fun of y'all left and right because you're making awful decisions with your movies and your shows.
The power of one.
You have these actors that are amazing.
The power of two.
Right?
The power of many.
Fucking crazy, bro.
That was the best scene of The Acolyte. Because that's the only one everybody's talking about.
It's stupid. Why is Disney doing this? They're shooting themselves.
They're giving powers to the wrong people.
Forget shooting yourself in your own foot. They're chopping off their leg and eating it.
No, man. They're taking a rocket launcher. They're examining it. They're looking it down like this. Hey, what this do? Boom! So not only did they blow their damn their foot off, but the back blast shot them in the face. And so now they're just a shoeless, footless, headless, flailing around trying to stay alive.
Right.
And everybody's just looking at the disaster like, I wonder how long it's going to take before he falls over and die.
Bro, it's just crazy.
He's still running around. It's actually impressive.
It's just crazy. They're running around because they have that much money and they've bought so many things.
And that's what it's
hard for them to die.
It's a footless, headless corpse.
You know what it's like?
Running around until it dies.
You know what the fuck it's like?
It takes too long.
Remember in Reverse Flash, how he had the bullet in the head, and because he was limited, this dude could never really stop, but he also couldn't go too fast. He was basically a speed zombie. That's Disney right now.
But you know what was going on, right? He used the Speed Force to mentally go to a new timeline to try and find a way to reverse it. Because all of that was happening in the second that he got shot in the head.
Right.
Because the moment he died in that universe, he pretty much died the same moment he died when the
bullet pierced his brain.
When Bat Dad shot him in the...
Yeah.
It was kind of confusing, but...
It was cool at the same time.
I get it.
Because he was linked to all of... It was still him.
Which only means, did that entire universe happen in like a fraction of a second?
Maybe.
Or was his experience in that time...
His experience there was
a fraction of a second, but it was very long for...
It was long for him.
It was weird.
Really cool.
It was weird.
It was cool, though. But we're going to wrap up this episode. There was so much to discuss here. Give us your opinions. Like, do you think that Disney doing this was hypocritical? And are you excited about Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom? We're not, but I know that there are some people that are. Give us your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with everybody else. We're trying to put this content out as much as possible. We have an episode every single Monday at 5. And if you want to truly support Black Maverick Publishing, make sure to purchase one of these 2 books or any of the books in our bookstore.
Yep. Eventually, we're gonna have mimic shirts. So you get
Yes,
to
we
have
are.
you'll get to have the black shirt with the big thing right on the chest,
Right.
and it'll have any mimic color, right? And however you feel that day, you feel like a king, you feel like a queen. That'll determine what kind of shirt you wear, right? We're gonna have action figures. They're gonna be like this big, and you get to move them around. So that's all in the future.
We're trying to get all these things, but the more that you support us, the more we can grow and give you the type of stories that we know you want. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and shoot us a little bit of a message, an email or something. Tell us something that you'd like for us to do next. Anyways, catch you later.